situation. Eckhart Tolle says, the next time that you notice yourself complaining, remember that you have these choices. 1, you can remove yourself from the situation. 2, you can change the situation. 3, you can accept the situation completely. Or 4, you can live in a state of constant suffering. If you cannot remove yourself from or change the situation because you're in prison or something, then accept it fully. Otherwise, your other choice is living in a state of suffering. This is what, accepting it fully is what Eckhart Tolle calls surrender. He says, surrender to what is at all times. Treat every moment as if you have chosen it. Living in a state of surrender is part of being in the now. It's the key to being enlightened. Number 8, emotions. The egoic mind. Eckhart Tolle uses this expression. He also, when Eckhart Tolle uses the expression the egoic mind, he also includes your emotions. Emotions arise where mind and body meet. And emotion is the mind's reflection in the body. If you really want to know your mind, the body will always give you a true reflection. So feel your emotions. If there is a conflict between mind and body, the thought will be the lie and the emotion will be the truth. Not the truth for all time, just the truth for that certain incident or state you're in now. Most people get pulled into unconscious identification with their emotions as well as with their mind through lack of presence. And then the emotion temporarily becomes them. Often vicious circles build up between thinking and the emotion. They feed each other. The thought pattern creates a magnified reflection of itself in the form of an emotion, and the vibrational frequency of the emotion keeps feeding the original thought pattern. By dwelling mentally on the situation, that is the perceived cause of the emotion, the thought feeds energy into the emotion, which in turn energizes the thought pattern, and so on. It goes around in circles. Observing your emotion is as important as observing your thoughts. Watching the emotion allows the emotion to be there without being controlled by it. You no longer are the emotion, you are the watcher of the emotion. Eckhart Tolle calls destructive emotions, or a group of destructive emotions, the emotional pain body. Because of the pain body's powerful energetic charge, it is not easy at first to stay present enough to be able to watch it. It wants to take you over, and it usually succeeds, unless there is enough presence in you. Number 9, novice attempts to shut down the mind. Many of us are trying to shut down our minds. That's why people drink or do drugs or spend excessive amounts of time sleeping or watching TV. These states do work to reduce the mind's chatter. However, rather than making us conscious, these methods bring us to a state that is below consciousness, which is de-evolving rather than moving forward. In fact, Tolle mentions that when people drink, they slip into a state of deep unconsciousness. And if they continue to drink, soon enough they enter the vegetable realm. But Eckhart Tolle believes that if some people don't have their drink or drugs, they might actually become a danger to themselves or others. Tolle says that if you take a look at the world around you, you can quickly see the state of consciousness mankind is in, as evidenced by the state the world is in. Most of the world's conflict and strife is completely unnecessary and would be dissolved if everyone in the world were able to stay present and free themselves from the dominance of their egoic mind. Enlightenment is the next evolutionary step for mankind, according to Eckhart Tolle. If we undertake this, we can ensure our continuation of the species. Otherwise, we, under the control of our egoic minds, will destroy our world. Thank you.
Okay, so I would like to remind everybody to stay on one question so everybody can have more, so we have more opportunity for discussion. So, anyways, close to break the ice.
Okay, so I would like to touch the part you mentioned about the forms. Right? And then we are actually in prison in the world of forms. we construct our egos. And egos, or who we are, based on the set of notions. And it reminds me the concept of the socially created reality, right? And it is also related with sense of time.
Yes.
That we are, you know, the cultures, there's timeline or circle, time circle, right? And how is it related to being in the presence?
How is which related to you?
How is it related to being in the presence? That maybe the concept of time, we live more in a timeline, makes us thinking about the future or reminding our past, skipping the presence, right? So that would be the sort of kind of thing given to us.
I think I understand what you're asking. You're asking, you see that there's a timeline, and so some people are living in the past and present.
It's culturally induced. Our culture teaches us to
yeah, our culture does. But and your question is how?
Well, my question would be, okay, if you have a different concept of time, if you have time circle, you are more into presence or not? Is it enough to be more in presence?
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. No, I get it. Okay. It doesn't matter what your concept is, really, because you can believe one thing. You can believe that the world is an illusion. You can believe that time is this or that, but it doesn't really help you go into the now. The only way, because you're using your mind to believe this or believe that, the only way you can be in the now is by not thinking about time, not thinking about it's this or that, dropping all pretenses you've learned of any culture, and just being in a state of no mind, which is freedom from thinking, and just being completely present and aware. Does that sort of answer the question? If you have anything to add to that, let me know. Okay.
I've got a few questions, but ask the last one first. Can you describe what these writers would say is the difference between individual, collective, and then super consciousness?
Okay. Collective consciousness is the all-one energy that surrounds us all. Tolle talks a great deal about collective consciousness. I didn't get into that because it's farther on in the book, and we don't have enough time. But the collective consciousness is generally a group that gets swept up and believes a certain ideology, and they decide to do this or do that, and they try to get other people into their way of thinking, and then it becomes sort of a gathered state that believes a certain this or that. He also talks about an unconscious, something that has to do with we're not aware, a collective consciousness we're not aware of. When he talks about, let's say you're African American and there's been lots of suffering done to your race over many, many years of oppression, and even though you're born into this world, you'll feel that oppression. Even though you're in maybe a very good culture that's very open to you, you'll still feel this kind of collective feeling from associated. Associated with how you look. And women apparently feel a certain sway from collective consciousness, from the collective group of women. At that time of the month when women are experiencing the menstrual cycle, they'll be in tune with all the things that have happened to women. They're more open to everything that's happened to women over the years. And that's when they're most emotional. So they have to be aware of that that's a really, really fragile time, because that's when our doorway and portal is open to connect with most other women in the world. I don't know where he gets his information for that, but I was quite interested in that. But he doesn't give any kind of reason why he believes this, but he has observed this over and over, I guess.
Maybe I can
Okay.
just... he does introduce this concept of pain body, and that we all have this pain body, basically psychic pain, emotional pain, whatever, accumulated in us, in every being. And it can be also racial or